Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a continuation, I guess, of my last video titled Live Glam Online Makeup Certification Scam Exposed, which was part 3 of the Dress Your Face series in collaboration with the blog and Instagram page Undress Your Face. I'm not going to do the usual intro because my last video was super recent, but I will, as usual, leave all of the info for Undress Your Face in the description box below, as well as all the links to parts 1 through 3, which I obviously suggest watching prior to this video for context. I've also created a playlist for the Dress Your Face series to make it easier to follow if you're new to my channel or just new to this series. But before we get into that video, I just want to say that following my previous video, I was really surprised to receive DMs from well-known makeup artists and influencers thanking me for making that video. I'm not telling you this to toot my own horn or anything, I'm telling you this because in my opinion, I believe Darman and or Live Glam have taken advantage of makeup artists and influencers in the past, just like he's done with consumers, but because these artists and influencers work in the industry, they've had to keep quiet about their dealings with him and this company. I have also received messages and comments from people who intended on signing up for these classes and changed their minds after watching my video. And that is why I make these videos. This industry is not regulated, but that doesn't mean that people deserve to be taken advantage of. So in this video, we're going to talk more about Darman and Live Glam, and we're even going to talk about Dar's girlfriend and DYF's BFF, Laura G. So let's get into it. Allow me to introduce you to another member of the Shade Parade. You may know her as Laura G143 or The Sweet Life of Laura on Instagram. She is Laura Garola, the current girlfriend of Darman and quite possibly the most unknown individual on Instagram with over 2 million followers. Seriously though, for someone with her size following in an industry I keep up with, how is it that I, along with Google, can't define what her claim to fame is to warrant her 2 million followers? Aside from the odd photo of her as a promo chick at best, all I managed to dig up was this article by Refinery29, which was basically a what they did before they were famous YouTube edition, in which Laura indicated she was previously a wedding planner. Now, I may be reaching here, but I would think a prerequisite to being featured in this article would be that you'd have to be a YouTuber, and not even a relatively successful YouTuber, a famous YouTuber at that. Just as a reference, other YouTubers featured in this article were Manny MUA and Kristen Dominique, both of which are in the millions in terms of subscribers and YouTube household names, so I don't know how this girl ended up here, but girl needs to find a compass to find her way out of this article because she does not belong. So just to put things in perspective for you, some very well-known beauty YouTubers with about half the following she has on Instagram are people like Nicole Concilio, Kristen Dominique, Chloe Morello, ShanXO, and Laura Lee at anywhere between 1 and 1.5 million. And with around 2 million, we have people like Nicole Guerrero, Luster Lux, and James Charles, all of which are big names in this industry, and their numbers support that. Laura G's Instagram looks to be primarily a repost account, which means she just reposts other people's shit. But her likes to follower ratio is skewed, which is probably why she mostly uploads videos to her page, as video views are easier to obtain because the viewer literally does not have to put any effort into watching it, whereas a like requires someone to physically like the photo. With a video, you can watch a second of it, click off, and it counts as a view. How is it that she has more Instagram followers than most of the aforementioned influencers, yet she is virtually unknown? Is she a model? Is she a makeup artist? Is she a beauty influencer? Is she a YouTuber? A blogger? It doesn't appear so, but she may play one of those roles on Instagram. Something doesn't add up here. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's usually a duck. So I went on Social Blade to check her Instagram stats, and I believe the results further strengthen my suspicion. As you can see, she literally hemorrhages followers every single day, except for that one day out of nowhere where she gained 6,000 followers, which is very odd for someone who's consistently in the negative. This is not a usual pattern for someone of her supposed popularity. She should be growing and showing, so it is my opinion that she has at one point purchased a shitload of followers and she loses followers when Instagram purges ghost followers, which seems to be right in line with the claims made by Lily about Dar referred to in my previous video. Now here's where Tam Tam comes in. She too is no stranger to being accused of buying followers. During one of Instagram's purges, Tam lost 2% of her followers, as she pointed out in this Instagram post, but made it seem as though they were random ghost followers and not purchased. And just so we're clear, I am not going by the results of the app pictured here because because I can't speak to the accuracy of it. This is a post I took off Undress Your Face's Instagram, and I guess someone added the results to a collage and covered part of Tam's caption, so I'm strictly going on her comment and the comments on Undress Your Face's post at the time. One commenter on the post indicated that at the time she lost around 400,000 followers, which would have been super noticeable to her following, so she probably thought, well, if I point it out first before people start accusing me of buying followers, it won't look suspicious, except that when you do that shit, it always ends up looking even more suspicious. And by the way, people that don't buy followers would feel no need to address the issue. Now, at this point in her career, she probably isn't doing this anymore, but isn't it interesting that Tam, her business partner, and his girlfriend have all been accused of buying followers to get ahead in their careers? In my opinion, this really speaks to their integrity and lack of business ethics, which I'll speak more on in a bit, but let me tell you a little more about Live Glam and what I do know about Laura G. So I'm not sure what came first, the chicken or the egg, in terms of Laura G's relationship with Dar, because from what I gather, she works in some capacity at Live Glam and is listed on their website as one of the artists who supposedly teaches some of these online classes. However, if you click on her profile, she seems to be more of a sit-in model for artists than an artist herself, which would make sense because judging by her cringeworthy snaps, it's likely she holds a clerical position with Live Glam, which I'm sure spills over into part-time model should any of their artists require one. I don't know if Laura was dating Dar prior to working at Live Glam, or perhaps she worked there and that's how they met. I don't know, and the same goes for her relationship with Tam. I don't know if they were friends prior to her partnership with Dar. All I do know is that they are friends now and that Laura is dating Dar, which by the way is kind of a hush-hush relationship. Occasionally she will snap him, but like I said, he maintains a very low profile. I don't know why she'd be embarrassed to date an alleged scammer and convicted felon known for taking advantage of people simply trying to get an education and pursue their passion, because he certainly sounds like a winner to me. Aside from online makeup and hair toots, Live Glam currently offers 3 monthly subscription clubs. The first one being a brush club called Morphe Me, which obviously consists of the ever so rare and luxurious Morphe brushes. The second is their monthly lipstick club, which appears to be their own in-house brand, probably private labeled, called Kiss Me. And the last club is their Polish Me club, which consists of Laura G by Live Glam nail polish, all of which she shills on Instagram and Snapchat almost daily. Do you see where I'm going with this? Now, she doesn't focus too heavily on shilling Morphe brushes. In fact, sometimes she's so far behind on Morphe's new launches that she posts pictures of items telling her followers to use her code on things that have been sold out for weeks. But as I said, she doesn't focus too heavily on Morphe, probably because there are enough pimps working that corner, so she likely figures it's best to stick to selling for the company that pays her salary and slaps her unknown name on a bottle of nail polish. So basically what I'm saying is that it is my opinion that Laura G is a fake in-house influencer manufactured by her boyfriend to look one way to consumers so that they'll buy into the monthly Live Glam clubs, and so that she will look more marketable and appealing to big brands potentially wanting to work with Live Glam. So Live Glam can say, hey potential brand, work with us. We have this in-house sought-after influencer with 2 million followers who can advertise their products for you. But that's just my conspiracy. And listen, while Laura G may have a large following from reposting other people's shit and networking in the industry, 2 million seems rather inflated. In fact, Laura and Tam Tam both participate in that stupid emoji BS, but they take it a step further and call it a secret emoji, which they release on Snapchat, so you have to go and spam their Instagram, which enters you to win a prize, usually for some dollar store makeup or something. But that's what they do to build real followers and engagement to supplement the fake followers, yet Laura still can't keep her head above water. Now, you may have seen pictures of Laura with popular influencers, and that's because Live Glam does work with some of them, and the company is affiliated with Morphe, and we know Morphe was built by influencers, so chances are high she'd brush shoulders with them now and again. In fact, just this past weekend, Laura, Dar, Tam Tam, Nikita Dragon, Linda from Morphe, and Jaclyn Hill were all celebrating Dar's birthday at Tao in Hollywood. Can you just picture them having a little kiki over their shady business practices and all the people they've taken advantage of? Because I think it is so ironic that all these people were together in one place. You know what they say, birds of a feather. But anyway, there are also other benefits to being a manufactured influencer, such as perks like Lavish brand trips. Now, the rumor is that Dar Scam is friends with the owner of Tarte, which may explain why he and his Instagram unfamous girlfriend went on the Bora Bora brand trip last year. But unlike the rest of the attendees, Mr. Man kept a very low profile, only appearing very briefly on Laura's Snapchat as seen in this picture here. Now, I don't know about you, but I find it strange that Tarte supports a company whose owner is known for his shady and unethical business practices, and whose company has a long-standing history of scamming their customers. I mean, I expect a company like Morphe to support his company, but not Tarte. Although Tarte seems to be taking a page out of Morphe's book these days, relying heavily on promotion from influencers, even going so far as to shower them with extravagant gifts like drones, iPads, a new camera with super expensive lenses, as seen here in Kristen Dominique's snap.
Oh my god, guys, look what we got. This is insane. We got a Mark IV 5D. If I can take it out. Got this camera. And then we also got a huge and amazing lens. This lens. I'm trying to take it out. We got the 70-200mm.
SD card.
Shoot, a lens. Golly, I'm so happy. You guys, Tarte is amazing, and I have no words.
And that's not all. On the very same trip, she, among others, received this.
Guys, this just happened. Tarte gave us Cartier bracelets that says OG Tartlet. I literally just cried. This was... I don't even know what to say. I'm just like speechless right now. I'm so grateful.
So on this one trip, which was a relatively small trip to the Florida Keys, Tarte showered influencers with over $11,500 in gifts, plus the trip, plus I'm sure they got paid for the campaign they shot. And please don't get me wrong, this is no shade towards Kristen Dominique. She does come across very grateful, and in my opinion, she is probably one of the most humble out of all of them. She keeps to herself and does her own thing and isn't constantly pushing codes on us. I just use her as an example because she happened to snap the gifts. So if you ever wonder why some of these influencers are shilling the fuck out of Tarte recently, this is why. These companies put a tremendous amount of stock into these influencers and rely on them heavily in terms of promotion. In fact, it's probably cheaper to buy these influencers lavish gifts and take them on over-the-top vacations than it would be to advertise traditionally. Another benefit to using influencers is the amount of potential direct exposure to the brand's targeted audience. Think about only taking 2 influencers with 3 million followers or subscribers each on a brand trip and having them talk about a new product launch. Between just those 2 influencers, that product has the potential to reach 6 million people. And we know there are way more than 2 influencers going on these trips. And also, I know Tarte says that they don't do sponsored content, yet I have seen about 6 YouTube videos talking about the new foundation stick using the same terminology and format, and every time I log on to Instagram, this is what I see: sponsored Instagram posts from Tarte. And these brands and influencers wonder why they're always being questioned about sponsored content. I love Tarte's products, and I really hope they aren't turning into that brand, but it does look as though that is the path they're taking. Anyway guys, I just want you to understand how valuable these influencers are to these brands. Do your own research when it comes to products, and if possible, buy from a store you can return items to if you don't like them. Unfortunately, these days we have to question the integrity of companies providing classes and courses as well and disguising them as something they're not. So please be aware, ask questions, and do your own research. And before I go, just for shits and giggles, one of my subscribers sent me this screenshot of their comment on Tam Tam's DYF Academy page, where she said, "Just watched Here for the Tea, very shocked," and she was blocked immediately. Anyway guys, as usual, leave your thoughts below. Are you enjoying this series? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HereForTheTea2, and I will talk to you guys again soon in my next video. Bye!